For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
Whether it's advice on managing your anxiety or tools to help you stay grounded, Coping-19 provides a range of resources and self-care tips to help you cope with this pandemic. We can help. Find the resources that work best for you at coping-19.org.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
This is Carlos Brown, letting you know that we're on the move. You can now catch the Carlos Brown Show beginning this July on the Black College Sports Network each and every Saturday from 11 to 1 Eastern Time. That's 10 to 12 Central Time. Same time, new place. On Facebook at the Carlos Brown Show and Black College Sports Network. Online at www.mybcsn.net and on the BCSN app available on Google Play and the Apple App Store.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Of course your Buick parks itself. That's so you.
It's just up here on the right.
Of course you know where we're going. That's so you.
Kind of got a sixth sense.
And a head-up display.
They're here.
Hit the field, warm up. You brought all these players in your Buick?
Yeah.
So you.
It is.
There's a Buick that fits your life, because at the heart of every Buick SUV is you.
What up, what up, what up? Y'all caught me slipping. Y'all caught me slipping for real, for real, for real. Today is the 14th of June. That's what it is. 14th of June, 2023. It's me, DVP. Welcome to Random Thoughts. How y'all doing? So what we got going today is, because this weekend is going to be Father's Day, so I'm going to do my Father's Day show early and let y'all, I got some guests who are going to come on and we're going to speak on two things. The joys of fatherhood, as well as the joys of being married. Because this is what, despite what social media tends to have you believe, there are men who absolutely, incredibly adore being married. There are men who, despite what you believe, love being a father. They wouldn't have it no other way. That's what they do. And this is what we're here for. I have gentlemen here, some of us are part of blended families, which means we have no problem raising other people's kids or people helping us raise our kids. So that's one of those things that you just got to pay attention to. Life is simple. So we're going to do that. If you can hear me, Mel, David is waiting for his link. he is waiting. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about, and this is mostly just gonna be, we're not doing a woman bashing. I ain't even gonna talk about deadbeat dads or deadbeat husbands. I'm gonna tie my tie because Mel said I was flexing last time, so I'm gonna flex again. And I just want y'all to know, while I'm tying this tie, I got a black cord in the way, so I'm gonna move it out of the way just to prove a point. This don't take forever, and it's actually a piece of cake. So, but I'm gonna do this again just cause this is what I do. So I just wanted to show y'all that and flex just a tad bit, and go think. The reason I started wearing bow ties is because my son bought me a bow tie. So I had to learn how to tie it so I could wear it. Bam! Just like that. See how quick that was? Just did it like that. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna have some fun, but we're gonna talk about the advantages, all this, the good things. Of course, there's some bad things. We'll dwell on them because I don't want y'all to think this is hyperbole and all I'm telling you is a good side. But everybody has stayed together and chosen to fight through the madness, as we like to say. So since I see David is ready, we're going to take a quick break, then we're going to come back, and we're going to go on and jump into this Father's Day thing, and we're going to start spreading the love. And ladies, let y'all know, it's plenty of men out there. Plenty. It may not be the one who you looking at, may not be the one with the hot body, but it's plenty of men out there who look forward to the challenge of being your husband, your child's father, and we embrace that responsibility and we take it seriously. So Mel, whenever you get a chance, go ahead and let's go to break right quick so we can get this party started.
Itchy, squirmy, scratchy, family not getting clean? Get Charmin Ultra Strong. Go get 'em! It just cleans better. With a diamond weave texture, your family can use less while still getting clean.
Goodbye, itchy squirm.
Hello, cream bottom.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
Maureen is saving big holiday shopping at Amazon, so now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. Food is her love language, and she really loves her grandson. Like, really loves.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
Stride K-12 powered schools are ready to put over 20 years of being a leader in online education to work for you. Dive into curriculum designed for the online classroom. Team up with state-certified teachers trained in virtual instruction. Take control of your child's education journey. Discover the power of personalized learning with a leader experienced in preparing kids for a future they can be excited about. Take charge. Stride K-12. Enroll now for the fall.
You see, Head & Shoulders has Scalp Shield technology, protects against flakes even between washes. It's never not working.
Kind of like us. Number 15?
Never not working.
I don't like this one.
Me neither.
Let's get out of here.
Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield, never not working.
I'm attorney Clinton Paris, and Tampa's my community. I grew up here, went to school here, and my wife and I make our home here. What makes Tampa special are its people. So when I represent someone injured in my community, it's personal. Call my office and speak to a real lawyer and not some referral service. I will fight the insurance companies to get the settlement that you deserve. At the law office of Clinton Paris, we take the pain out of being hurt.
Troy, you work here?
I'm never not working. Like Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology, up to 100% dandruff protection, even between washes. Never not working. Never not working. Never ever not working. Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield, never not working.
Can I get the now bar, please? $1. Have a good one. Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
Got it.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food? Like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
Oh, we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
All right, so we back. We're having a few little technical difficulties with some of the guests, but we're gonna get it started anyway. All right, so Father's Day is coming up, and you know the last year, I will say, I was really impressed with the amount of non-negative posts I saw from some bitter women. But like I say, we're not here to talk about them. They showed much class to me last Father's Day. But I would say the same thing about men too. We have become less bitter in that respect of trying to claim neutrality. A father, every child has two parents, one mother, one father. No parent can do two things. Mothers can be great at being great mothers. Fathers can be great at being great fathers, but no father's a mother, no mother's a father. Okay, so we don't want to keep going through that hyperbole and trash talk. It is what it is. So this is something that we can work on, especially with this one. Let the man have their day. You know, if there's a great man in your life, give him his due. And even though we call it Father's Day, because me, for instance, some of us have great male role models, and it may be an uncle, it may be a cousin, it may be a football coach, it may be somebody like that who we look up to and respect, and we kind of follow in their footsteps. So they get that they kind of get that credit on Father's Day because they are role models. I had a biological father, would never call him my dad, and I have a adopted dad who I treasure the hell out of. I also have, picked up some play dads along the way, like a lot of us have, older men who took me under their wing and guided me on the straight and narrow. And I owe them their due because this is what they did. They didn't have to, but for whatever reason, it's what happened. So as I'm saying this, I want to say to the ladies, be cognizant of who your children gravitate toward too, because having a positive male role model, to me, is more important than all of the hoopla we put around these titles of, oh, no, this child needs his father, oh, toxic mothers. If they got a positive model, a positive role model, whether it's a man or a woman, that's more impactful than sitting here trying to bash each other. But understand that kids are notorious for picking their own. Mom, you could love a dude, you could love his dirty draws and all that. But if your kids gravitates toward the high school football coach, there's no need in trying to force that. If the high school football coach has your child's best interest, let that person be the role model. Don't keep trying to make it into somebody you chose for you, because it's hard for you to choose a role model for your kids. And I think sometimes that's where we go astray. I remember a conversation that I was having right before Mother's Day, and it was with a mother who was really not hearing her child call another woman mom. Even though this woman took good care of her child, she just wasn't hearing, and I was like, why? And she was just steadfast, and I'm her mother, nobody else will be her mother. And I asked, I said, did you have a play mother? She said, yeah, but how was there a but? Did the play mother pick you, or did you pick the play mother? And it took her a couple of weeks, and she inboxed me and she said, you know what, D, I was wrong. She said I should let my daughter just enjoy her life and be proud or happy when anybody else wants to help her grow up. And it's the same thing when you're dealing with men. I will say this in my experience, most good men have another life. Most good men either have kids, they have a wife, they have something else going on, but they're still taking time out to deal with your child. So it doesn't have to be your partner. And in some respects, we can say there aren't a lot of them, but I think there are more than we want to give credit for. So as we go through this journey and we get ready to celebrate Father's Day, whether they have the official, what do you call this, birth certificate title, or whether they've assumed that role in your life, let's just give them that credit and celebrate them and be happy that we have positive male role models who are willing to step up and go above and beyond for not only theirs, but for yours or for any of them who need it. My wife, before she hit me in the head with a frying pan a couple of weeks ago, was telling me she admires the way I try to help men who are not on the, who may need a gentle nudge. So, I like that. And she accepts the fact that it may take some time away from the household from time to time. When I did my mentoring at the school this year, there's still a couple of kids who still texting me out during the summer, and I appreciate that. It took away a little time from the house. She never complained outwardly if she had a problem. Man, did you have a problem with me mentoring the boys? She said she didn't. She accepts that. That's one of the things I like doing. And I think, for us, it's twofold because we have two daughters. So guess what? We want to make sure that the next generation of boys who is looking at our daughters have been properly conditioned is a bad word because I know y'all ain't gonna like it. Trained is a bad word, but they need to be conditioned and trained to respect women, how to treat women, how to be responsible individuals. And why not teach them that at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14? We can't keep waiting until people are 21 to try to train them into being better people, or how to respect women, or how to deal with this, or how to deal with that. So if you got that in your life, just accept it and let that be that. So I see we starting to get a rise here. So as these gentlemen come on, we're going to talk about some of the questions. Like I say, even though Sunday is Father's Day, we're going to still talk about the whole plan, because there's no way I can do a whole show on Father's Day. It's just not going to happen. But I want you to hear them, how they feel about the whole thing. Just being that guy, the father, the husband, and how it makes them feel, how we want to respond, how we want to be there, as opposed to this social media world where every man is self-serving, and if it ain't in it for him, he don't know why he should be doing it, and can he whoop your bad kids, and all kind of crazy shit. So that's what we're gonna talk about. What we're gonna do is because I don't want to get too far ahead of myself with my topics before my guests get here. So what we're gonna do is we'll get ready and we're gonna take another quick break, give them time to get in, because I specifically asked these gentlemen because I wanted you to hear what's going on with them. All right. So what up, Bobby? When you coming on the show? But Mel, go ahead and take me to break whenever you get a chance, and let's get the gang all in here so we can come out here like gangbusters.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for mental health and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org.
At CDW, we get speed as the new currency of success.
Our team spends way too much time tending to outdated applications and software when they should be focused on driving application agility and innovation.
CDW Amplified Development Services modernizes software and application development to help accelerate innovation and digital transformation.
So you mean building new applications, UI, and mobile interfaces?
Well, you said you needed to innovate more quickly.
Oh, so he's a listener.
To do more at scale, trust CDW Amplified Development Services.
One bite of 100% Angus beef ballpark frank, and you'll say, hello, summer. Oh yeah, it's ballpark season.
Bounty versus the old family dish towel. Drying with a fresh sheet of Bounty leaves your hands cleaner than a used dish towel that can carry and redistribute food residue. So ditch the dish towel for better hand hygiene. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Stillman College is an HBCU in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where we prepare students for a different world. Stillman is a college of distinction for last year and this year. Our largest majors are business and biology, followed closely by psychology, criminal justice, and history for pre-law, communications, English, and religion. Our newest degree programs are in the Department of Computational Sciences, which covers cybersecurity, data analytics, and math. The Biomedical Academy prepares students for competitive entry into health professions and graduate programs. We have established summer biomedical research internships with major research institutions, such as the University of Alabama, Drexel and Temple Universities in Philadelphia, the Salk Institute in San Diego, California, and the universities of Florida, Indiana, and Iowa. We became creative with social distancing and masks for the pandemic. Our students enjoy movie nights at the stadium and the new Melissa and Davis Legacy Courtyard, where you can eat and enjoy friends. We have the Divine Nine Greek letter organizations, student government leadership, and ambassadors. Our small class sizes, nurturing faculty, and friendly environment let you know that Black Lives Matter at Stillman College each and every day. Applications are free. Sign up at discover.stillman.edu. Complete the contact card and apply today. Stillman College, where we prepare students for a different world.
What's up? What's up? What's up? We're back. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give y'all a quick little something on all my guests so y'all know something about them. Cause all three of these I would put them to my personal friend register. Cause I told you I know married men. I know married men with kids, and I just don't hear the same complaints that I see on social media. So I reached out to some of mine to have them come on the show so we can dispel some of these myths. So what I'm gonna do first is I think I'm going by seniority. But I'm gonna introduce the craziest one I'm the most scared of first, and that's David Price. He's an army guy, a photographer extraordinaire, a trash talker extraordinaire. He's married, got kids. He been on the show a couple of times. So David, introduce yourself.
Well, first and foremost, being that today is the 14th of June, happy birthday, Army. See, I'm rocking the gold and black today, Army birthday. So celebrate, go Army, beat Navy. Like my boy D said, yes, I love my wife, Adrian. That's my rock. That's my go-to. That's my ride or die. Y'all think Beyonce and Jay-Z can do the damn thing. You gotta see us. But anyway, another story for another day. As far as the kids, yeah, we have 9 children. We're a blended family, so she didn't produce all 9, but all 9 love her as mama. She brings something to the table, that motherly and that sternness that they all desire, crave, and need. And no, as far as being a dad, out of 9 kids, we all got that one that's like, man, I don't need you. The hell with you. You ain't my daddy anyway. We all got one of them. Okay, that's fine, boo boo. You and your mama go sit your asses over there. Leave me alone. Hey, Dad, I'm about to graduate. Can you help me with this? Oh, now you need your daddy. I'm just asking. But it is what it is. And regardless of those antics, I'll call them, still try to be there for them. I don't play their little games. No, we don't play them games, but I'm gonna still try to be there for you.
We're gonna hold some of that for the
yeah.
we're gonna hold some of that for the question and answer session. I just want you to introduce yourself first. We're gonna get to the question and answers.
There you go. That's an introduction.
So next is Mandrika. I met Mandrika like 1,000 years ago before cell phones was a big thing. I met Mandrika when they had bag phones. Mandrika used to be my phone guy. If I wanted to know something about a phone, I went to him. He'd tell me what to get, what not to get. Then I don't know how we ended up being neighbors. But man, I've been on Mandrika quite a bit. Like I said, married man, got kids. So, he doing his thing. So Mandrika, anything I left out in the introduction?
Yeah, man. Again, my name is Mandrika. I've been knowing Darren for I think it's about 20 years now. Yeah, man. I've been married roughly right at 19 years this year. It'll be 19 years this year for me. I have 3 beautiful babies, and just excited about the platform and the conversation, bro.
What's up? And last but not least is my nephew Farad. This dude that keep me straight. We always find something to disagree on, and we keep pushing forward to figure out a solution for it. So, he married to my niece, blended families, all that. So, Farad, come on and give us a look. Oh, he got track stars extraordinaire. Well, he got athletes extraordinaire. So, he is Serena's William dad without being crazy. Farad, tell us a little bit about yourself.
What's going on, man? My name is Farad, born and raised here in Atlanta, birthplace of College Park. I am a husband and father of 4, ranging from 2 to age 22 in September. So yeah, man, that's a little bit about me. Like Darren said, I married into the family, and it's been the biggest blessing for me. So yeah.
All right, so fellas, I want all y'all to take y'all time and think about this. For like I said, this is the Father's Day show, but I want to build a narrative because y'all on social media like I am, and I'm sure y'all see a bunch of these negativity posts about why would a man get married, why would he do this, and about dating a woman with kids and everything, yada yada yada, whatever. So my first question is, as we get into this whole thing, is when we're gonna start with the wife so we can end Father's Day stuff. When did you know that your wife was the one?
Wow.
I'll gladly take that one first. So I think there were many instances where I question whether or not this woman would be the one for me, and not really having much of an example of that. You kind of go based off of what you feel. But I had my first son when I was expecting him at 16. He was born 2 weeks after I turned 17. So I was still in school when I had my son. So that forced me to grow up very quickly. But in relationships, that always was a sore point for my significant other and their family members, particularly their parents. And in a lot of the relationships that I was in, that drove a wedge in the relationship. So in meeting my wife, one of the days that I knew that like this was the woman for me was the day that she chose me. She put aside what everyone believed, and she did not care what everyone felt about me having a child, in high school, or what they deemed a ready-made family. And she chose me, and she chose my son, and she has never not chosen us since doing so. And for me, that was a moment, one of the biggest moments that I knew that this woman was the real deal and what I needed in my life.
So it didn't have nothing to do with that wide rule paper?
No, that was just the start of it. That was just to get my foot in the door. That's all that was.
All right, David. How did your wife end up with one of the craziest dudes? How did you know she was the one, even though she's the only one willing to put one of the craziest dudes on the planet?
Well, with my baby, let me tell you, we met back in 1997. I was a hard charging non-commissioned officer in the United States Army. Wouldn't take no crap, wouldn't leave no crap. I wish a motherfucker would. And one of my homeboys was in charge of her unit, and they were like, "Yo, P, we got this new soldier down there. I need you to go there and square her away because we got inspections coming up. We don't like the look bad inspections." So I walk on over there and I see her standing there and I ask the question of who's in charge. She's like, "I am." I was like, "Oh Lord Jesus, not the fine motherfucker. Jesus." Whoo, she was fine. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, calm down, son Price. Get together. And yeah, I yelled at her a little bit. I was a meanie. And she and I, we worked together and got her shop on points. And, I gave her some pointers in working in our field in the Army. And, as the Army do, it'll split everybody apart and send us on our different missions. And then one day I was looking on Facebook friends and I said, "Ooh, that's that cutie that I bumped into. Shoot, let me see what she's doing." Shoot, Facebook strikes again. Hey, look, you want to take a trip? I got a ticket waiting for you with your name on it. So, long story short, the Army separated us, but we came back together. Life had did what life does. She was divorced. I was divorced. And I was like, I really wish I would have got with you back then, but I wasn't ready. You weren't ready. Life gave us those challenges that made us ready. And now we've been rocking now for the past, going on 10 years next year. But that's 2014. Yep, 10 years next year. We've been rocking solid through ups, through downs, through bads, through goods, through get out my house, through you sleep on the couch. And look, I ain't the only one that slept on the couch. Don't sit there and giggle at me, motherfuckers.
Hey, that's an Army thing.
Oh, you don't do that there? You ain't leaving your bed. You Air Force. But when I first met her, I saw something special in her. I just couldn't put my finger on it. But then when life brought us back together, I saw it. It was her strength, her inner strength of like, yeah, the kind of guy I am. I gotta have a strong woman on my team to say, "Yo, you messing up, David. What you talking about?" And then break it down to me. "Yo, David, this is what you messing up on. For real? Oh, you got the audacity to tell me some shit like that? Yeah, you messing up. Okay, so how can we fix it up? Okay, this is what we're gonna do to fix it up." So she's been my rock. She says I hold her up, but she keeps me grounded. So that's how me and her came together to be as the one we are.
All right, Mandrika. I can't believe I've been around longer than your wife.
Hey,
Hey man, tell her she owed me. If I wouldn't have got that first bag from you, y'all probably would have never met. So tell her she owed me a gift on y'all anniversary.
this is what I say. While we've been married for 19, We've actually been together for 30. So
Damn,
she
y'all
was there
old.
DVP. She was there way before you DVP. Yeah, actually, I met my wife at a basketball game in high school. I was I had already signed my football scholarship to go to school in Tennessee, um, and I actually saw her at the county tournament. That's where everybody went from where we're from. So I met her there. I had and we kind of chopped it up a little bit at the game, but after the game, we called each other and we spoke roughly. I got on the phone with her at 10. I got off the phone with her at 4, and I don't think we had any dead air the entire time. So from that day forth, man, it was like it was just kindred. It was meant to be. We've been together ever since. Um, there hadn't been any off and ons. We've been together the entire time. So we actually grew together. So I'd say the blessing was meeting her at the game, but the continued blessing is being with her every day. So it's been dope.
That's what's up. So I ain't gonna cheat. So
Right.
I married Trina. Everything about our relationship was unconventional. It's crazy. We met on Facebook in a group, which is if somebody would have told me I'm gonna date a woman off of Facebook, I would have laughed. Uh, she lived in a whole nother state, which made her out of reach. I would have laughed. And we were in a group. I liked her little fire because if you know me, y'all know how I can be. So like David, I need a woman who can check me, but I also need a woman with a sense of not humor, but a sense of sarcasm because I can be sarcastic sometimes and not mean any harm. We chatted a little bit. She was in a relationship, I was in a relationship. One of us was always in a relationship. Um, so one day I just say, I'm traveling with my job. Maybe next time I'm up your way, maybe we can get together and have dinner. Cause I saw her little profile picture. She had like pretty dark brown eyes. I'm a sucker for dark brown eyes. And then through conversation, we start having little things in common. I don't think she'd even told me at this point, but her daughter, her oldest daughter, and my oldest son share the same birthday. Then she had a preemie, I had a preemie. They were roughly the same weight. And that's when we really started talking more personally, not even about dating, but I sent her a couple pictures of my son, how he was, and, helped her through that. And, it's like, hey, it's going to get better. Next thing you know, they're going to be talking and driving you crazy, nothing like you feeling now. And she listened to one of my shows. And that's when I think that's when it clicked for her that she would entertain more conversation with me. So anyway, I ended up going to Syracuse just to meet her. And she put a spell on me, and I couldn't stay away. And the crazy thing is, if y'all know, because we don't talk about this now, is I actually got engaged to somebody else, and it wasn't going to work. And it was Trina's fault it didn't work, in a good way. And after we officially broke up, the girl I was engaged to, all I thought about was Trina. And I tell people, it's the one when you ain't thinking about other women. I mean, I would still go out, but I would think about Trina. And I reached out to her and asked her to call me. This was after we fell apart and stopped talking. And I called her, or she called me. I think you called me like at 2 in the morning, didn't you? Yeah, she called me at 2 in the morning. I don't know why I wasn't sleeping. And shit.
It was 4 o'clock.
It was 4 o'clock? Mm-hmm. Oh, y'all know she woke me up then. So, yeah, that's elder abuse. She woke me up from 4 o'clock in the mountains. Elder abuse. So we went through, the things, a couple things going on with me. She was silently my rock, as David was saying. And, she went through some things. I don't know if I was her rock, but, I did my part to let her know that I was kind of serious about her. So we did a long distance dating for, I don't know, a few months. And I was like, you know what? This ain't gonna work for me. I don't want to do this. I went up there, saw her again, stayed up there for a week, hung out with her kids, met her family, brought her here for a week. I ain't sure which one came first, so she could see how I was living, where I was living. And we planned to get together after her daughter got out of middle school. So, me and one of my brothers, we rented a went to Syracuse and brought her back. And then that's when Farad turned on me. Farad used to be Team DVP. Then all of a sudden he turned to Team Trina. And I'm like, damn, you know, she threw a spell on my nephew. He done dumped me and just went to Team Trina. I'm like, how this work? You know, I'm
It wasn't no
supposed to be the
spell.
dude.
It wasn't no spell. I saw in her what you saw, and I saw the change that you needed to make. And she was gung ho on you, and I loved it. That's
She
why.
cast a spell on me, Farad. It wasn't me changing willingly. I didn't know what had happened.
That's what they do when they get you, man.
Yeah. And crazy, you know, as I talk about on the show, Trina was the first girl I could have uncomfortable conversations with. I ain't gonna tell you all the stuff we talked about. But we talked about stuff that normal people don't seem to want to talk about. We had all kind of we were just sharing all kind of stuff. And during COVID, you know, I was stuck in the house with her, and I'm looking at Facebook, and everybody's talking about how much they hate being stuck in the house with their significant other. And I was like, shit, I've been stuck with you now for a minute. I think I kind of like you for real. So we discussed getting married, and she was like, you know, the course was like, it's going to take forever to get married. So I called the judge up, and she looked at me, she said, did you really call the judge? I said, well, technically I texted him, he called me back. And we got married. And, you know, we've been fighting ever since, and she won't go nowhere. Now I'm a hostage, y'all. See me blinking twice. So that's my love story. But that's how I knew she was the one. I was dating other women, but I couldn't wait to get back home to talk to her on the phone when she was in Syracuse. We was acting like we were 13. We would talk on the phone sometimes from 11 o'clock to 5, 6 in the morning. I became good at Madden just because I played Madden while we was talking. And that's how I knew she was the one. And she had kids. And I'm going to let y'all tell you about your kids. I'm going to get mine out the way. She had 2 kids at the time. One was a teenager who I thought was going to come and be my favorite child. But, you know, I caught in the midst of being a teenager. She ain't got time for the old man. And the little one, who was my little heart, who could never pronounce my name because she just gave me some crazy name. But the first time I went up there and met her, I was eating a Whopper. And she was looking at everybody eating, and she just came over to me and raised her arms up for me to pick her up. And I picked her up, and I've been a sucker ever since. So I look forward to the challenges and the rewards of being a father, whether it's biological kids or blended kids, because I'm a fan of blended families, because I believe that men who want to be leaders, they don't differentiate. Like I said, I picked David and Farrell because they can speak more on this experience. I think Mondrika's the only one who, you know, he got married at 12. Well, he fell in love at 12, and they've been together ever since. So, you know, that's just his story. But, you know, the rest of us,
Good job,
that's what it
Mondrika.
is.
I tell you this,
So,
I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you, DVP. So, you know how you see the little girl when you young, you go to the skating rink, you see little girls and all this, and she cute, right? About 11 years old, 11, 12 years old, I was at the skating rink, and I saw this pretty little brown girl with pink lips. I'm like, man, dang, she cute. And then every so often I see this girl, like, damn, it'd be out the blue. I see the girl. Oh, there she go. Right? Man, she cute. But that's cool. All right, never mind. That's fine. But then I saw her one night out. I was actually looking for another person. Right? We were out. This is before cell phones, so that lets you know how old I am. It's before cell phones. You had to go pull up on the person that you're looking for. So I pulled up at this spot where everybody normally hung out. And it was like a burgundy Grand Am. And I pulled on the driver's side of the burgundy Grand Am because a dude I know was in the passenger seat. And lo and behold, it was that girl, right? And when it was that girl, I looked in the car and I saw her, and I just kept staring at her, and she was staring at me, and I was looking at her, and she was looking at me. Then the dude sits up in the seat, and I remember, I'm here to talk to him. So I hollered at him, asked him a question, tried to see if he found the person, knew what the person I was looking for was. And he was like, nah. So I pulled off. Then comes probably about a few months later, a homegirl came to her, one of my homeboys came by with his girl. And I was like, hook me up with your homegirl. one of your homegirls. She was like, I got the perfect one for you. I was like, all right, cool. She's gonna be at this basketball game, the county tournament, and it happened to be this girl, the same girl I had been chasing for 11 years. I mean, well, since I was 11. I was looking around, staring at her forever, all the time, and never would say nothing to her. Saw her out with a dude I grew up with, and then I saw her at the game, and she was the homegirl's friend. So I feel like this thing was kindred. It was meant to be. Um, man, and I tell her all the time I was in love with her since I was 11. And she was like, how you know? You didn't even know me when I was 11. Like, girl, I saw you at the skating rink. You used to wear purple duck hairs, a white turtleneck, and Dexter.
So
Purple
it
duck
sounds like
hairs,
you've been a
white.
stalker for a long time, Mondrico.
Boy, I learned how to do that early.
He was
I learned
stalking at 11.
early, boy. Yeah, man. So yeah, I always had a crush on the girl, and I ran up on her. So you know, like I know everybody had a crush on Laura Winslow. Everybody did. Urkel girl.
You said
Then
Lauren
everybody have a
Winslow.
crush.
Not the Laura
If the
Winslow
lady,
example.
I married Laura Winslow. Y'all lost, fellas. It's mine.
Y'all something special. All right, I'm gonna let you keep going. Mondrico, tell us now, because we done got our fabulous wives out the way, and ladies, y'all can be chosen. Mondrico said he found his early. Farrar found his in college. As a dad, David beat his over the head and drilled it into her, and I got hooked, winked, bamboozled, and led astray by witchcraft and sorcery. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, because anyway, so let's see Mondrico, tell me about the joys of fatherhood. With Father's Day coming up,
Oh,
what makes Father's Day so special now that you got kids? Well, not now, but that you've been had them.
what? Since
What
Father's
makes
Day ain't
Father's Day so
special, man.
special for you? It ain't special for you. They just mistreat you.
What, bruh? If I were to tell you, I don't remember nothing I ever got for Father's Day. Nothing. My little boy buys me a tie every year that he takes back. If my little boy had my little boy name is Drake. He's 14 now. So that's Drake, and he buys me a tie every year, and then he takes it back because he has downs. He stems a lot, so he loves things that dangle. He'll buy me a tie that he likes, and then takes it back. My oldest is Mila. She's 18, 19 now. She's at West Georgia, studying nursing, and she's a dancer. Um, she's been dancing ever since she was 2. And my baby is 10 years old. She's a dancer slash athlete slash artist slash meanest person on the earth, then slash the sweetest baby in the world. And yeah, it's been a whirlwind. It seemed like yesterday I was scared to bring the first one home, and now I have 3 with the preteen as the youngest. So it's great, man. I love every minute of it. Um, it's tough and trying because sometimes you don't see eye to eye on the way you render a child, but um, I love every minute of being their daddy, and hopefully they'll understand how daddy is and what daddy meant when he you know had to lay down law sometimes. But I love every minute of it. But we have a good time.
All right, Farrar, what does it mean to be a father to you? What's the joys of it?
That's such a hard question to answer, honestly, man. Like I I think that's my greatest joy, in not having that growing up as a kid. Even father step in to play that role. Um, he was one of those dads that felt like he had to work in order to put food on the table and shelter over your head, and that was him fathering. So for me, I knew that I wanted more than that. I knew that I wanted to be more than that for my kids. So that's what I sought to be the difference. So we are big on um, being intentional about spending time together. I am big on not missing events that my kids have, whether it be something small at the school, after school, before school. And then their extracurricular activities. My son, who again I had at 17 or barely 17, he also attended West Georgia for a good bit and was an RA out there. And then he has since come back home to prepare to go into the Air Force. And then I have my 13-year-old who is probably the most responsible out of the four of my kids. And she has taken off with track and softball, and she's a 4.0 student, and gives me very minimal problems. And it's just the joys never end. Waking up to "Hey Daddy" is the biggest joy, and then them having to come downstairs to give me a kiss before they go to bed and tell me they love me every night is a joy. So for me, that question is not as easy to answer, because I could go on and on with why and how many joys I have. Father's Day isn't a big day for me because neither of my fathers are living anymore. And my brother who raised me is still here, but we've never really looked at this day as a day to kind of celebrate us. And I've never been one that likes the spotlight or like gifts. That's not my thing or my love language, if we want to use that analogy. But I just love being with my family. I love, just spending time with them. And we don't have to do anything. We could be sitting in the living room watching TV, eating ice cream or popsicles, which they are tearing up in the house right now. And those moments mean the most to me because I didn't have that. So I think that's the biggest joy for me. I don't get, joy out of getting gifts and recognition for being a father. I get more joy out of seeing them live their wildest dreams because I have made that possible for them.
That's what's up. And you wasn't there the day I came to the house when Courtney said, well, you got to watch out for the baby because she don't really like everybody. And then I couldn't get rid of her. And I was just like,
And then
hey,
she went straight to
I
you.
don't know. I don't know, but hey, that's
Yeah.
a little heart stiller. What you gonna say, Drake?
Hey man, I
say?
applaud. I applaud that, because a lot of times, a man thinks that the dollar is the rendering and the raising of the child, and that's great, man. I appreciate. I love hearing that we as a people stand up. We as fathers stand up. But again, like he says, we rare. What makes me happy at any point, any given point, is not what you get, is what you see from your kid, and I love seeing them happy, like them smiling, them happy with what we blessed them with. Just them being able to go do some of the things that we weren't able to accomplish makes me super happy. Like I love. I feel like I had one of the best fathers in the world, But um, being able to push that button forward makes.
Okay, and I guess I got to go to David's house because I ain't never met his kids. Everybody else's kids I done met. So what's up, Dave? What's your greatest joy in being a dad?
Well, you have met one of my sons. He modeled with us for a while. The one with the big afro, Marcus. He modeled with us for a while. So you've met that one. But my kids are grown. Marcus is the youngest at 19. So me and Mama we free to move out the country, do what the hell we want to do. But being a dad, one of my most joyous moments was when my children's friends called me dad because they saw something in me that, that father figure. I've had many of kids come and bend my ear. This and that going on in my house, baby. Listen, I can't tell you how you parents do what they do in their house, but if you do this, they come and seek my guidance, and being able to help mold and guide the next generation, that's always been a joy to me. Being that I was an Army dad, a lot of times, I miss birthdays. I miss these heartaches, heartbreaks, the first kiss, the first dance, all that stuff. I miss a whole lot of that. But when I retired and me and Adrian, solidified our union, and I got the joy of helping her with her two young men, become men, I thought me and the oldest was going to be chill like a mug. But come to find out, he's an introvert. He's like, I'm like, hey, how you doing? He's like, But the youngest one, he and I turned out to be, freaking frack. He wanted to learn how to do stuff on a car. Guess what? I know how to turn a wrench. He wanted to learn how to do this. Guess what? I know how to do that. So, and each child have had a hand in raising. I couldn't raise all of them the same. I couldn't do the same for Jason that I did for Lee. I couldn't do the same for Lee that I did for Crystal. Sarah and Crystal are freaking frack, two opposite coins. My daughter Tanisha, yeah, she don't like her daddy, but oh well, that's that one that's, you're not my daddy, go away. You think you'd be the first child in America without a father? You and your mama can kick rocks, have fun. It is what it is. And then I got my young men that followed in my footsteps almost to the letter. David's a photographer extraordinaire. When I tell you that boy makes me so proud to see his work, I'll be like, damn, he's a hell of a photographer. That's my son. And then I got the one to join the army. So, each child, is a different person and you have to treat them all accordingly because you can't, I know if you got siblings, your relationship with your parents is different from your siblings' relationship. Now, I got a sibling, my youngest brother, swept it down. We had the worst childhood in America. I'm sitting back looking at him like, boy, you crazy as hell. We had so much fun because we were so poor. We didn't know we were poor. Everybody was poor when we grew up. But, it is what it is. But, yeah, them little rascals. Daddy was always, when I was home from the army, it was always about me and my kids. Anybody that knows me knows good and well. When I get a moment, I'm riding out with my babies. Get in the car, let's go. Let's ride. Where y'all look? I tell them, look, I need you to open this. When we didn't have GPS on our phones, right? Back in the day when you had maps, the atlas and stuff. I'll tell my son,
MapQuest.
open the atlas and keep turning the page, and stop. That's where we're going this weekend. And we went to Oklahoma from Texas. We drive to Louisiana. We go see sights out there. And I made it fun for them to when Daddy had the time to be with them. We enjoyed each other. Look at that boy with that camera. That boy was he a bad mama, hush your mouth.
That's what's up. Let me throw my shade right quick. Dave, what do you do again?
Huh?
What do you do again? You're a photographer, right?
I do whatever the hell I want. I'm retired.
Okay, I'm saying you're a photographer. That's how we know each other.
Okay, yeah, I'm a photographer.
See, I just want to say my nephew is a photographer, but I can't never get no pictures. So I just wanted to throw that little. Because this is my show. I just want because I've been trying to get it. I've been trying to get in
You
front
can
of
throw
his
that
camera,
jab,
David.
but
Excuse me. I'm
who
talking.
has gotten work from your nephew?
That's not. Hey, we're gonna stay focused on what
Okay.
I'm saying. What we're saying, the point is, David, who is not related to me, has put me in front of his camera. The nephew ain't put me in front of the camera, so I just want to throw my jab right quick.
Come on,
You know what
nephew.
I'm saying?
Come on, nephew.
So yeah, I just had to throw that in there for our commercial break, and continue with the theme. David, you said something. This is my third marriage, uh, and in all of them, I've been blessed to be called dad by some kids I never knew. That some people say, how many kids you got? I said, I stopped counting. I can be somewhere and people holler dad, and I just have to look at them and be like, now who your mama? Because I don't remember you. And that was one of the greatest joys because these kids will gravitate towards you. As I said at the beginning of the show, we can't pick who our kids actually want, who look up to, and how they doing. We just got to accept it and hope they mean well for them. With being married to Trina, like I said, her teenager presented me with a different set of, I won't say problems, issues, but it was funny to me because let something happen. Soon as like when we talk, my name is Darren, but let something happen. She'd be like, oh, I'm gonna tell my daddy. I'm like, who's she talking about? And then next thing you know, she's talking to me. And I'd be like, Trina, did you know about this? She's like, no, she didn't tell me that, but she'll call me when she got a problem. And I just like, as you said, that was her love language because we talk, she'll look at me, she might, throw a little head up or whatever. It's that dude that's married to my mama. Because, I was like, all right, we just gonna make the best of this. But soon as something happened at school, everybody was like, hey, here come her dad. And it's funny, we was up at school one day because something happened. I went up there, and one of the counselors, or one of the people in the office, was being rude to other children. And I said something to her about her little nasty behavior around these kids. I'm like, if this ain't the job, you won't leave. And I just seen her kind of swell up. It's like, yeah, that's him. And they gave me a sense of pride because I didn't know if we got along or not. I was confused, but when shit hit the fan, that old man, she would call him dad. And you know, it's like, all right, because you don't always see it. But when you see your kids excelling, when you see them going forward, when you see them, you know, subconsciously doing something that you told them to do that they didn't want to do initially, because they listening and they watching, and you know, they come up, and I'm sure all y'all done had this moment when you was like, when you was at your wits end, and they come give you that little smile and that $5 phrase, be like, "I love you, Daddy." You know what that means? That just mean go in your pocket and give up something. But
I need something.
is there anything that is more kryptonitic to us than when they look us in the eyes and tell us they love us? I mean, what can you say when it, especially if it's a girl? Oh my God, I hate when girls do that.
Yeah.
You shaking your head,
Hey,
bro.
yeah, hey, I can't even. I got my boy, like my boy be like, I'm like almost. He gets the Heisman all the time. Like, get off me, boy. Leave, get off me. Stop laying on me. That's all right. I love you too, but get off me. My girls, man, I'm so weak. What, like Reese, that's Reese, right? She said one time, "Daddy, there's some shoes I want. How much shoes cost, Reese? They're like $150." I was like, well, if you get half the money, I'll pay the other half of the money for the shoes. She's like, okay, but I ain't got no job. I was like, okay, well, you got to figure out a way to get that money. How are you gonna get it? And she's like, well, if you give me a job, I'll help you pay. Or if I do chores around the house, will you help with that? Would that work? I was like, yeah, that worked. I guess that'll work. And so she raised about $25 through chores, and she ended up with those shoes because she got a mouthpiece like a daddy. She, and she don't know what no means. And if you tell her no, she'll ask that question in a different way to make sure that that answer is still no. She acts just like her dad. The oldest, is sweet as pie, and she does exactly what she says. Like your brother, like brother said, she does exactly what daddy say, and she listens, and you see the fruits of what she's been listening, because she doesn't do anything that's negative. She don't go to parties because she understands that I'm not going to no. The first party at West Georgia this past year was a house party at West Georgia. I can't go to the house party because Dad said you can't go to the house parties because people don't know how to act when you go to house parties, right? And it's just always being able to look them in the eye, like you said, when they're saying, "Daddy, can I have?" and "Daddy," it don't even matter. Absolutely, you're gonna get what you're gonna get, because the guy that's gonna be standing next to you gonna have to be able to do the exact same thing. They're rotten, and they're gonna stay rotten. If the dude can't make her rotten, then he need to leave her alone. But the boy, I don't really care about. He all right.
Now, I know when they look at you, he's like, whatever. Let me go on and increase the money on this wheel so I can lead them everything they want. How do you tell them no,
Yeah,
Farad?
D,
What's up?
we
What's
gonna
up,
D,
Ace?
let me put this in there. You know, when Adrian and I first got together, you know, I'm a gentleman. First and foremost, I'm a gentleman. I'm a raised gentleman, so I'm a gentleman. I open the door for my wife. You know, I reach out and give her a little, you know, spank on the bottom, and she'd be walking in the kitchen, I go, pow, look at that, looking good. And her youngest was like, why you always touching my mama's butt? I'm like, cause one, I care, and I'm gonna show your mama affection no matter who looking. I don't care if the Pope watched it. Pop that ass. And you know, I always open the door for her. He's like, why you always open the door for her? I was like, well, son, that's a respect thing. I know your mom can get the door for herself, but I respect her enough to say, baby, I got your back. Here, I got the door for you. And she'll lean over, open the door for me. And after I broke it down to him, that little boy used to race me to get to the car to open the door for his mama. He wanted to be the one to open the door for his mama. He didn't want no other man to open the door for his mama. I thought that was just the
absolutely,
funniest things in the world, that he wanted to be the one to open the door for his mama. That boy loved his mama. Hey,
absolutely.
Hey,
that
but
little
you know,
boy be the one to come after me for his mama.
You planted that seed, Pop. You did right. You did absolutely
That's
right.
exactly it.
Absolutely right. Because you think if it's me, and I've just been viewing society as of late, right? I feel like those roles are reversed. A guy expects a girl to do all these overly overt things for them. If you just pay attention to society, like I'm just seeing how things are playing out for my daughter, right? And these little boys aren't as respectful, and they're not as gentlemanly as
Masculine.
we are. They don't appreciate how wonderful black women are.
That
So
part.
she got a boyfriend now, and he's in good standing with us. I'll say that. He came home one day. He goes to West Georgia too. He's from Douglasville too. They met in high school, and he came home one day, and that car was dirty. Her car was dirty, and I was like, "Hold on, bro. You been riding around this car like this? It's got bird poop on it. Why this car got bird poop on it? You didn't see it? Then why you ain't get it off? My baby don't need to be riding no dirty car because her mama don't ride around no dirty car. If I don't wash it, it goes right down to big rips every Saturday morning, right?
There it
And I
is.
don't think I think we gotta get back, or we gotta help these little cats understand how you supposed to treat your woman. She don't supposed to be doing
Now
none
they
of
call
that.
that being
That's
a simp nowadays or something, don't they? They say you're a simp if you do that.
Call me what you
Well,
want to
see,
call me.
when I have my Becoming a Real Man show, I'm gonna come on there. We're gonna talk about what real men do versus what real men listen to other people say.
All right.
Well, I got that show planned. Farad, tell me how the girls done turned you into just a pure sucker. Cause Farad a
Yeah,
big boy, but I know when they
so
look up to him, Farad turned
straight
into like a
sucker.
little 6-pound baby.
You know, I have to literally say no and then walk away. That is the only way. But like again,
That
the
don't work,
difference
bro.
in kids, it doesn't. And they follow you, and now they got cell phones, so they text you, and they like. There's no way around it. But my son, like he is that kid that you say, I want you to run through this brick wall, and he's gonna run through that brick wall. He's not gonna ask any questions. When we say no to him, he doesn't wonder, well, how can I get them to say yes? These girls, no is
Mm-hmm.
just temporary for them. So it's
Next
always a
opportunity.
yeah, it's a okay, well he said no today, but I'll ask
He just
tomorrow.
confused right now.
Or
Yeah, he just
he
confused
said
right
no
now.
right now, but yeah, I'll ask him in a little bit. Like I got this note on my office today,
Oh man, that means she want her own ATM card.
and immediately came downstairs and wanted something. So, you know, and it's like absolutely, because that meant the world to me to come into work with, you know what I mean? So there's no easy way out of it, man. You just say yes or
So
no, and then you run.
right. As soon as you hear "I love you," you know that mean open up your pocket. It mean I want something. Cause like, why don't you just tell me what you want? Cause you don't love me. I
Yeah,
love no, you don't.
yeah.
But go here go $10. How much I gotta love you
Well,
to get more than that? I'm like, for real, this how we do this.
I actually thought that,
Go
D.
ahead, my drink.
With the baby, I actually thought that. Like, I think this girl just asking me for money, just be asking me for money. Till she started nestling all every night. I'm like, dang, what you doing? Why you all over me? Nothing. And then she'll get up and walk off. Like, I'm like, oh, that's what it is. You daddy's girl. She told her mom, she's like, yeah, I'm a daddy's girl. Leave me alone. I love daddy more than I love you. Or what's worse, Darren, well, her mother does her hair in the morning, right?
Right.
In our closet. She'll go get dressed, walk by her mama, come in the closet where I am. Daddy, what this look like? And she like, I'm not. My wife would be like, I'm not standing here. She like, yeah,
They don't
but
care.
Daddy, what?
They don't care. It's your approval that matters.
Man,
And,
all right, okay.
and,
Yeah, it's been a whole debacle,
and,
whole little thing with that.
and that's one of the great things about being a dad, especially when you got girls. It's like sometimes you see them do little things that push their mama away, and it's like, so that's what we doing now. You like him? I remember with my second marriage when we was talking about getting a divorce. Her daughter said, "Well, I'm going to stay with him because I like him better." And I was like, "Here go another fight. Here we go." It's like, damn, just. But it's one of them things that as a father, you feel that love, And it's just a great thing because you can have the shittiest of days. And I tell people this, there's nothing. I don't mean no disrespect to no wife or girlfriend, but there's nothing like when a kid come up to you and tell you they love you. I don't care how bad you feel. I don't care what you're going through. Your whole world changed. And it's like, man, I was thinking about jumping off this building. But here go this little girl who loved me and need $5, so I got to go to the ATM. So she done saved a life. Because when they tell you, I said, what can you do, especially when you're feeling bad? When you're feeling bad, what picks you up quicker? You know, people be like, oh, music or drinks or weed. No, a child telling you I love you will get you into a better space quicker than anything I've ever experienced, ever.
Love my grandbabies.
Right.
Yeah, when they do it.
I love when my grandbabies call me to tell them they mama. That's hilarious.
And the crazy thing is we all big guys, we old guys, and you know we thugs in our world until that little girl show up or till the little boy show up and say, you know, Dad, I love you. And it's much easier, boys, because you can beat them up. You can't beat your little girl up. You just gotta just sit there and suck it up and be like, am I really? Oh, I'm sorry, David. The rest of us can't be doggies. But
oh, my daughter's a thug. They can fight.
But we turn into straight suckers when they say something to us. It's like, man, how come I can't? What happened to my superpower? What a boy, you know? I remember my daughter, she said, you don't love me, do you? I said, why you said that? She said, because you always fight with my brother, but you don't never play fight with me. And I'm thinking, because I don't want to hurt him. But she was feeling left out because she wasn't part of the fight. So she got incorporated into the fights.
Catch these ones and twos.
Yeah. And then when she got in the fight at school, she used some of them techniques. And I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah,
I said, did you really?
Where you learn that?
You told me. She said you told me to hit him with the biggest book I got, so I hit him. I was like, damn. But you know, when Father's Day come, man, you know, people like, what do you want? And I was like, you know, I think talking to most of the dads, most of us don't want nothing. We got everything. We got everything we want. It's just another day for us. Most of us don't mind cooking. As my drinker said, you know we're gonna get some shitty gifts that they want. I remember one Mother's Day, I bought my mama a football. And she's like, what this for? I'm like, you don't want to play? Okay, well, I'll use it. And, you know, but just that thought process, the fact that you still thought enough to try to get something, even though it wasn't for me. And, you know, because it don't matter. Just you being here, waking me up and agitate me and working my nerves and all that is fulfilling in and of itself. Because most of us don't want nothing. We've been so used to being
Darren, you know, I
providers.
love me some socks and bow ties. My kids love, you know, bow ties and socks. They look at you, looking dapper, looking dapper. They give me the ugliest bow tie and some funky socks, and I'm happy. I'm happy.
It don't take much though. You know, I got some candy one year. It really don't take a whole lot. I mean, how many of us got them crazy paintings or drawing? We still ain't figured out what it is, but we got them.
Bruh.
It's like, I don't know what the hell this
and
is.
still on the refrigerator.
You know. So and you know, I just want us to be able to talk about it because every time I see social media, these guys talking about, oh man, ain't nobody gonna do this, don't nobody want to do this, and like I said, you know, with the three of us, we all are blended families. You know, I've been through. Unfortunately, I keep going through them, but you know, it's part of the reward of the system to be that role model. You know, one of my sons at 30, you know, he's like, Dad, you know, you told me so much good stuff that I apply now. I would, you know, but I didn't see that in him because he was resistant to the cause. He was like, I don't want to do this. And Farad, you know, Marquise, I remember Marquise he graduated from high school. Me and his mom were apart. We was going through a lot of stuff. But Marquise had always, the thing we had always said, I said, Marquise, like, if you graduate, he said, Dad, if I get a scholarship, what do I get? I said, what you want? He said, I ain't never been to a strip club. And so now me and his mom are apart, but he called me. He said, Dad, I got a scholarship to Auburn. I said, okay. And he said, do I still get my gift? And I forgot all about it. I said, what gift? He said, I want to go to the strip club. I was like, for real? He's like, yeah, he ain't but 17. So I pick him up. I tell him we're going to the strip club. I said, just pay attention to me. Don't act crazy. We going to a club. He don't realize who his dad is. And he's like, Dad, you know I ain't but 17. I said, what'd you tell me you want to do? He said, I want to go to. I said, so be quiet. Stop acting like a square. He's like, well, what if they ask me if I did? I said, listen, just shut up and just watch your dad. So I take him to one of my clubs, and I'm popular. They let us in. He said, Dad, they didn't ask me for nothing. I said, this is part of what you don't get growing up. You don't get to know all about your dad. And we went to the strip
That
club, and he
part.
taught right, and he talked about that for forever. And then when he got ready to graduate from college, he's like, Dad, I want you to come to my party. I was like, dude, I'm not gonna come to your place. Dad, you gotta come. Everybody want to know why I'm so cool. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna come. He called me every single day. Dad, don't play. I want you to come for real. So for him to be the big man on this college campus but still want his dad to come to his party, that just meant a whole lot to me. Because we could have had the party and just let me do my thing.
Right.
And that was a great thing, and it made the journey. Because sometimes as fathers, we don't see things in the midst. We don't see them till later on. We don't see them till later on when they tell us, "Oh yeah," like Dave was saying, your son raised you to open the door. I look at Farad's oldest son, who I met, and see what he's becoming. And he's when Farad out doing all these things and going to other stuff, he running the house till he go to the Air Force. But the girls got everything under control. Man, when I brought them Girl Scout cookies over there, I saw who ran the house. Courtney was trying to act like she was the boss, but Courtney wasn't running that. And it's just watching them, watching how they got manners, watching how people, when people want to gravitate and be around your kids. And I'm sure y'all got
That
that,
part.
because it's like, damn, I ain't do too bad. Because
You know what I
don't we
love,
always
D?
question ourselves?
You,
What's
you
that?
know, I question myself too, but as I was a mechanic in the Army, I was always tinkering on my cars. My sons would be out there tinkering on their bicycles. And, they'd leave my tools out and get all rained on. My sockets all rusted, my ratchets all messed up. I wouldn't get mad and yell. I'd say, come on, you'll help daddy clean them up. This is how you clean up something when you mess up something. And to
Right.
watch my son with his own boys doing the same thing, I could do nothing but smile. And he said, "You know what, Dad? I still owe you a toolkit, don't I?" I said, "Son, don't even worry about that right now, because Daddy don't. Look, I'll take my car to the dealership now. I ain't got to buy you shit, so I can take my car to the dealership instead of me fixing it."
So,
And the fact that he wants to let his kids do the same thing that I allowed him to do, tinker with his tools, fix on their bicycles and stuff. And it's a joy to watch him with his boys doing the same thing. It's a blessing.
So what do you think has been the biggest impact on being a dad is? What's the biggest impact it's had on you? How did it make you better?
Uh-oh. I just did. Turn it off. You there? I done
Yeah,
lost my audio on my end.
I can hear you. Mandrick, you still there?
Yes.
What's the biggest impact? What's the biggest impact that being a dad has had on you? How did it make you a better person?
It's taught me patience, because I don't have a lot. When I did before I had kids, I didn't have any. You know how I was. I want what I want. I want it now, right? So it taught you it teaches you how to sacrifice, of course. Um, actually to me helped me find purpose, because I see now why I was brought here, and it's to render them. It's to make sure that they understand what the world should be like, and from my eyes, right?
Right.
And how they be treated as people. And I just think the biggest impact that it had on me again was it taught me my purpose, because as soon as that girl, well, I found out, initially I wanted a boy when my first child was born. She's the oldest. And as soon as I found out it was a girl, I bought everything they had at Walmart in pink. Everything. Everything. But it's just, you know, I just enjoy watching them grow, watching them become who they're going to be, becoming who they are, watching my son, watching the world slow down for my son is really great for me. Um, he does have child, he's a child with Downs,
Right.
but just seeing how more approachable he is now, how he manages people around him now is great. And I just love
that impact they've had on me.
What about you, Farad?
I think the biggest impact, being a father has had on me has been to slow me down. I'm a hothead, man. I grew up in the streets of College Park. Fighting was fun for me. And all of my older cousins and brothers and everybody that I hung with was older than me. So um, being a father, I never feared like death. I never feared dying. I never feared leaving this earth. I didn't like guns don't scare me. People don't scare me. But in having kids, and not even just like my son, because I was still a hothead and having my son, man. But when the girls came in and I saw what being a father to them meant, and then it made me look at how being a father to my son and what that meant for him, because I didn't have that. It made me really look at, kind of break down my family history and break down the generational things that we've seen in our family. And in my family, personally, my grandfather, who my mom's father, passed before I was born, and my grandmother had 11 kids, and those 11 kids struggled through life without him. And yes, they have their success stories, but a lot of drugs, a lot of addiction, a lot of things came with not having that man solid present in the household. And when my stepfather passed, my younger two siblings who were born of him struggled, and they are still struggling today after losing him. So it made me realize just how important being present, being here, and not taking for granted, the gifts that I have been given. So I fear leaving them now. I fear not being present. I worry about what I'm not doing as a dad to make their lives better. And that for me has been the biggest change. And the biggest impact that I've had is just seeing that what I do, the moves I make, how I treat their mom, how I treat the people around them, the women in their lives, the men in their lives, the example I set, all has an impact on what they see. I don't yell at my kids. I don't tell them shut up. I don't, I don't degrade them or speak down to them, because I recognize that my impact has that holding on them. And if they hear a man downgrade, their mom, or downgrade them, or talk to them crazy, then they'll think that's okay for the next dude to do. And that's not the case. And in the same sense with my son, I teach him to, protect Black women, to, respect Black women, to, listen and understand Black women, and, women in general, but, particularly we're a pro-Black house. We do, we try and do it, even though I almost lost my son there for a minute at West Georgia. So, Drew, could be careful. Them white dudes out there at West Georgia trying to get to our sisters out there, man. And I almost lost him to a little snow bunny, man, but he turned the leaf and came back over. So he's doing much better now. But just that impact, man, of knowing that my life means something changed me big time.
David, do you have a hostage in your car?
She sleep. It's time.
I was like, David got a hostage in his car the whole show. I was joking about it at the beginning, but then I see over that knocked out. I'm like, David really is riding around with a hostage.
Look, we've been riding since about 11 o'clock this morning. I had some appointments for my medical health, and she wanted to go get her. Look at them out there. Look at them legs. Look at them legs. Blink eyes. She had to go get her last appointment on.
I love it.
Because we got an event to go to this weekend, so baby girl had to go get her stuff on. But I know Darren, everybody's aware that my wife and we fighting that sea monster. We kicking that ass. But every now and then that sea monster be on her back. That cancer, and she said she can drive, which she can. But guess what? If you need to go somewhere, I'm going with you. I'm driving. Don't worry about it. I got this.
Right.
Because I don't want you to have to fight through being tired, because you fighting for your life right now, and your body. The minute I start the car up and go vroom and put it in reverse, she already got cozy, got her little blanket, and about ready to go to sleep. Look, the blanket, got the blanket.
Don't come to me. Don't come.
But I just hope she realized that I'm there for her. I know you're a grown woman. I know you can handle your business. You can do what you want to do because you're grown. But just so you know, I'm there for you. You don't got to. You ain't got to take yourself to all your appointments by yourself. I got your back. You ain't got to remember to do all this and that for yourself, because I'm here for you. We're a team. And with our kids, they are of the understanding. When my wife's cancer first came about, everybody was terrified that she was going to die. She was going to no. We're not there yet. We all going to die one day. And you were saying that, being afraid to leave your kids. My biggest fear is I didn't prepare my kids for me to leave. My sons, they've taken all the lessons I can give them. Therefore, they are now the masters. So they don't need daddy. They want daddy. They don't need daddy. And my biggest fear is that have I taught them everything they need to know to be successful in life? That's what one of my biggest fears is. Have I prepared my daughters how to stand on their own when that little knucklehead want to act the fool? Baby, I always told you, keep a 50 in your wallet just in case that motherfucker don't want to act right and you need your own way home. So that's one of my thought processes with my children. Did I do enough to prepare them?
And that's one of the things as we getting close. I think one of the biggest things that we don't accept or understand as parents is that our job is to teach our kids to be able to survive without us. We need to teach them to be prepared for the world. A lot of people want to be they want to act like they'll be there forever. But at some point, the kid's going to leave the house, and it's nice when they feel comfortable to call us and ask us for something. But I think we've done our greatest job when they don't call us and ask us, because they got it. We waiting. We waiting. Oh yeah, we got you if you need it. But we
like you about to double dutch.
Right. And the fact that some of them want to go through not a truly hard struggle like some of us want to, but they want to struggle because they need to know that they can do it. And sometimes you have to let them fall sometimes so that they get it, because one day we're not going to be there. And I think that's one of the greatest lessons that sometimes we forget as parents, because we're too busy being caretakers as opposed to preparers. And that's one of those things that, we have to start teaching them to be independent. We don't want them not to need us, but we do need them not to need us. They got to be able to go on. And like I said, that's one of the things that I learned. I learned patience. Before I had my first kid, man, I was working for the sheriff's department. I didn't think twice about a suspension. Once I had my son, I had to start thinking about him. It was nothing for me to not get paid for 4 or 5 days, because if I don't eat, I know somebody else. Well, I got to make sure he got something. I got to start walking with a purpose now, as you guys are saying. I got to start making sure now I got to save money. I got to put money to the side. When I want to slap somebody, I got to think, what I want my son to know I'm going around slapping people. This having a son sucks, because now I got to be responsible. I don't want to be responsible. This just sucks to high hell. And then, then I end up having a daughter, and I got to watch what I do around her,
Worse.
One of my daughters, when she was getting ready to go to the prom, her date came to the door. He did everything he was supposed to, and then she opened the car door. I like to blow a gas. I said, this is what we're gonna do, young fella. I want you to go back home, call the house phone from your house phone. We're gonna start this shit all over. I don't know what made you think that she should ever touch your door. I said, but that's just a no-no in my word. And he said, I got to go all the way back. I said, you got to go somewhere where they got a real phone, because you got to call the house phone to let me know we starting back over. You can't go to the stop sign and do this over. But yeah, she ain't got no business touching doors. And she was like, I told you. And it's like, because I want them to know what the standards should look like. This is what you should be expecting. This is what I'm doing. So don't date nobody and have lower standards, And I think, like I said, when we do our second show, women are starting to lower their standards because dudes ain't stepping up. But that's a whole nother show. Like I said, this is about just the joys of fatherhood. And ain't none one of us can say that our children ain't made us cry, made us want to send them to a shelter, made them want to take us back, make them take them back to Sears. But I mean, at the end of the day, who wouldn't do it again? with all the shit that they put us through, all the times that we wanted to just put them in a box and send them to grandmama's house or to Goodwill, don't we still smile and laugh about all this shit now?
Yeah.
Hey, Darren.
When they come back, they be broke.
I don't know if anybody's child has done this, but there was a TikTok thing going around a couple years back. Text your parents and tell them that you didn't ask to be brought in this world, that I should pay all her bills. Oh, she sent me that. Oh man, listen, I went in. And she posted that on it was Instagram thing. She posted this is what my dumbass daddy said. I said, you sure enough right. I went in.
Yeah, well,
I ain't
mine
paying all
just
your
joined on, so
bills.
she missed all that. But Trina's oldest daughter, she joined the army. I feel like I had a little something to do with that. She been around me, and we've been talking military. And when she was up in Syracuse, that wasn't nothing anybody had thought about. But she came down here, got an ROTC, and I was like, I don't know why you ain't going to the Air Force, but I realized it ain't for everybody. But like I say, she gave me my share of headaches. She gave me tons of, because I never could detect. I knew she didn't hate me. I just didn't know if she liked me. And when she hit the fan, she didn't say Darren this or Darren that. She like, my dad ain't gonna like this. And I was like, what? Because I'm thinking she talking about her biological dad. And one time Trina said, no, she talking about you. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
like,
a puller right there.
Yeah, that kid thing where they don't want you to know that they love you because they got to be hard too. Because it's hard. Because like I said, when you're doing a blended family, you just don't know how things are gonna work. I know with Farad, his son pulled a tearjerker. Farad is, he tells a story about him having his son, and his son adopted his wife. She crying like a baby. Everybody crying. He got all the Facebook shut down because Facebook wet now because the son adopted the mother. And I just thought that was just a great thing. And it's like, because they get it. They get it, and they just surprise us with things. And so, So with that being said, what was the biggest surprise the biggest surprise, something that your kids have done? It's like, damn, where did they come from?
Just kind of showing me that the conversations that we've had, because again, I too was that kid that I ain't want to hear shit from my stepdad because you dating my mama and you ain't my daddy. I was that kid initially, and he came into my life when I was 3, and up until about 17, 18, like we got along. He loved me to death, man. But I didn't give him that energy that I probably should have. But now that's who I miss the most, and my father, who was not a big part of my life, but was in my life, I miss, but not nearly as much as I miss my stepdad. And it was because we had those moments where, he picked me up from school and he would talk my ear off about stuff I didn't want to hear about. But now those conversations resonate in my head whenever I'm parenting. So to see me have those conversations with my kids and to see it click for them is my biggest gift. That's that like for me, that's what means the most to me, to see me tell my daughter, she hates running the 400, but the girl is nationally ranked. She is number 2 in the state in her age group. She is phenomenal. But to see her, when I tell her, you have got to go right here, and when you hear me say go, you got to go. And a lot of kids hear their parents or don't hear when they on the track, but she recognizes my voice out of everything. And when I say go, she immediately turns it on and she goes. So that gift to me is just the constant giving back that they give me from what I've shown them or what I've given them. So that to me is my biggest gift, just to see them reciprocate or move how their dad moves or repeat something that they've heard me say, or, and her having to come home because she's a teenager now and she might be by herself. And my thing is, if you're ever walking home by yourself, FaceTime me until you get into the house and lock the doors and set the alarm. FaceTime me. And that's a one-time conversation that we've had. And immediately, and me not being here when she gets off of the bus, because I go to her bus stop and meet her at the bus stop every day. her and her little sister as well. And if I'm not there, she FaceTimes me, and that to me is the gift. Like you're hearing what I'm saying and taking heed to the instructions that I'm giving, and that never goes away, man. Because I'm seeing that now with, you know, changing the air filters or the filters in the, you know, the heater upstairs in the attic, man. Like I get done with that and I'm like, my stepdad would have been proud because that's who showed me how to do it. You know what I mean? So moments like that to me are the biggest gifts.
Mondrica, man, you done changed scenery and everything. You
Had
done broke
to.
into somebody's house.
A little chilly out there, buddy.
Yeah, that air dry.
I would say my daughter, when she first got to middle school, my oldest, when she first got to middle school, she would always say, "Hey, Dad, why don't you come over here and coach at Chapel Hill?" Now I don't have any ties at Chapel Hill because I grew up in Alabama. I'm an Anderson Bulldog through and through. I ain't coaching at no school. I'm like, I ain't going over there to coach at no school, right? And then they got to new man, won't you come over here and help and coach? And I was like, I can't do that. No, I don't have time to coach. They don't pay enough money to come coaching over there. I'm not doing that, right? And it didn't resonate to me until like her junior or senior year. And she was saying, "Hey, Dad, these boys over here need somebody to look up to and mentor them." That's what she told me. She said, "Yeah, I was trying to get you to come over here and talk to these kids. They don't get it, Dad. They don't. And we're just rude. And they don't know how to talk to people. And they don't know how to manage themselves. And they be screaming and yelling and fighting all the time. They don't understand how to talk to people, right?" And for her to see that enough, and she would always bring friends to the house, or hey, Dad, can I have a kickback with some friends at the house? Yeah, okay, kickback. You gonna be there? And I'm like, yeah, I guess because your mom works third shift, I'll be there. So, you know, having them around and then having me come out and talk to them and start conversations and open up the floor to Q&A with some kids, you know, um is big for me, for her to think that much of who I am and the message that I try to lay or portray to them speaks volumes to me. My boy is glued to me every day. Um, soon as I touch down from home, he comes right in, he hugs me up, then he's like, "Go on, Dad, get out the way." But he knows when I come home, he tries to get link up. I can't leave. He doesn't want to be with the girls. He always wants to be with Dad all the time. And then my baby, I said, she's Daddy's girl. She is mommy, and then is me and Drake, and then she's my daddy's girl. She's Daddy's girl. So just seeing that um, they see good in me, and um, so much so that they'd like me to be mentoring people around them. So
Lessons.
Mr. Price,
Sir, yes, sir.
I
Well,
know you know.
you know, I just want to start out for all the parents that are 10 toes down for their kids, but in truth, they can say, fuck them kids. Yeah, that'd be me. I'm that parent. No, my babies all know. I've been waiting all night for that one. I ain't gonna lie, I've been waiting all night for that.
Oh wow.
It's like I ain't had the music queued up, but it's all good. Um, the fact that, you know, between my wife and I, all of our children know that one, we want them to bring us not only the good, but bring us the bad too. Don't just try to sugarcoat the bad. No, yeah, we all mess up. Everybody mess up. We're all human. But they know that, well, I ain't gonna speak for her, but I'm gonna speak for me. I'm not gonna sit there and yell at you. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna try to figure out how can we do it better. You know, and they appreciate the the calming demeanor that I bring. You know, our baby Marcus, he'd be like, man, Pops, sometimes I don't even want to talk to my mama. I know if I say this to her, she gonna go blow a stack. I'm like, well, son, with your mama, it's all how you bring it to her. If you bring your mama some fucked up shit, she gonna hit you in the mouth with some fucked up shit. You know your mama. Now I tell them, don't get it twisted. I'm still Pops. Now you can say what you want to say as long as you put some respects on it. You don't put no respects on it, we got a problem. And once they got that through, you know, and their little friends see that, you just told your dad some shit like that and he ain't tripping. Oh, all you got to do is extra dishes for a week. That's it. Oh man, my dad would have lost his damn shit, and they respect that, and the kids they appreciate that, and me and my wife have come home many nights to our downstairs. We stepping over kids to get to the other side so we can turn the lights off because everybody done had their kickback and everybody laid down there sleeping and stuff. I get up in the morning, I make breakfast for a house full of kids, 10, 15 kids in my house. I'm making breakfast for them all. And the fact that they respect me enough to feel comfortable and they listen. I see these kids on the streets today. Pops, hey, they running across traffic to hug me. I'm like, who is you? I'm Alex. I done growed up. I'm like, God damn, you done growed up. Yeah, you 6'4" now. You were my 5'10" last time I saw you. You know, and that just feels that leaves a good feeling in your spirit that these little kids, even though they have their own dads, they got their own mom, but they call us mom and dad too. You know, that means we made an impact on their lives. So, you know, that right there. I ain't got nothing else.
Yeah, and I think just hearing them say it, it just brings a unconscious joy, whether they're yours, whether they come from a blended family or not. It just does something. I remember I used to tell the kids in my second marriage about crying. Don't cry in a public area. You know what I'm saying? Don't mess up everybody's day. If you got to cry, go to your own room. And one day we had a fight with the ex-wife, which she was the wife at the time, and she started crying. Her daughter said, you know you can't cry in the kitchen. You got to go to your room. I thought that was hilarious. I was just... Oh, I'm sorry. It was the first marriage. I got corrected. Yeah. But when she said it, because this is something we had always talked about, you can't spoil everybody else's fun because you're having a bad day. That's just not what we're going to do. And that's just one of them things, you know, because we all have sad moments, but don't make everybody live it. And, you know, and there was a time when my son, he got in trouble. And he said, Dad, I just want to tell you this. He said, are you mad? I said, no. I said, what'd I tell you? As long as you don't lie to me, I got your back. If you ever lie to me, that's when we got a problem. So he got in some real trouble. He called me. He said, I can't believe you got me out of there. I said, all you got to do is tell me up front. Don't let me hear it from the streets. Because he went to the club one time and got drunk. And security called me. They was like, hey, man, your son up here drunk. And I said, dude, you know people know you. I know people everywhere. You can't go out and do something and think I ain't going to find out about it. So if you let me know, and after that, you know, I never had another issue with them doing things. Like I said, even with Trina, when her daughter called, she called me first, and I was asking Trina to give me the scoop on what was going on. Trina was like, I don't even know what the hell you talking about. She ain't told me nothing. I was like a proud moment because now I know she liked me now. She just won't tell me she liked me. But the fact that she told me something that her mother don't know, I was like, you know what? I must be doing something right. Even though we both undercover, we can't admit that we like each other. That just
I promise you.
It just did something to me.
I promise you're doing everything you need to. And she's not gonna ever forget any of that, man. Because I was the same exact way.
Yeah. It's some things you don't find until they hit, you know, 30s. How much of an impact that you made when they start coming to you with a conversation. It's like, I said that when? It's like, you remember my 14th birthday? I was like, I don't even remember you being 14. You was 25
What do I
when
have
I met
breakfast
you.
this morning again?
You know, it's like, what the hell y'all talking about? So, you know, so let me ask y'all a question, because I got a segment for my producer to come down like, who plans the vacations in the family? Because in my world, you know, most of the time it's like, you just plan something and tell me when to show up. You know, tell me how much money it costs. Just make it happen. So, so the kidnappee plans your vacation. Hey, Adrian.
Baby, where you want me to go? That's all I need to know.
Oh, hey, is it y'all vacation or she just sending you away?
No, it's not. We go together. You know, very rarely. We every now and then we go out. every now and then she'll go with the girls, like she'll do a girls trip. Every now and then, I do a workcation where I'm out with other photographers and we on the beach in Miami doing whatever. But she's been on many of those trips too. So, because I ain't working all the time, and when I'm not, I want to hang with her. Like you said, Darren. Look, I knew she was the one when I stopped wanting to. I just thought about her. I was like, damn, I wonder what she's doing. I ain't gonna be no bugaboo and call all the time, but I just wonder.
So you ain't gonna be like Mondrika and Stalker for 9-10 years and see another man's car then.
Hey, you got to come up out of that, boo. You got to come up out of that. You belong to me. Come out of that.
Get last night. I saw you standing there. Wouldn't picture the color of your hair.
I need Adrian, because I don't need you no more, David. My producer has a site called Melodic Getaways, so I've been trying to tell her, give us more about some of the vacations and stuff, because we be wanting to do something. Sometimes as men, we work so much and we forget the part about planning a surprise for them. So she gonna come down and tell us some melodic getaway things that she got going on. Go ahead, super dope producer.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Hey,
just
hey,
a
hurry
little.
up! I'm ready to.
Okay, well, anyway, hi, my name is Melody, producer Mel, but I'm also a travel advisor, and I firmly believe, number one, Black people have to start traveling a bit more, and that exposure is absolutely needed. Family trips, expose the children. They need it just as much as the adults. It will definitely help with the lessons and the teaching and all of those things, Dad. And
I guess.
Don't look like that, David. Don't look like that. Well, the good thing about what I want to share with you is no kids are allowed on this vacation. I don't know if you guys have heard of Virgin Voyage, but it is an all-adult cruise line, and it is very much luxury yacht style, okay? So I highly recommend that adults, especially mature adults, get on this boat, enjoy an adult time. Of course, it is good for your buck. If you book early, you get 10% off. If you clearly pay full, that's even an extra discount. You will get $300 worth of bar tab to spend, and that's just to start off. That's just for free. There's so many things you could do. One of the itineraries are the Dominican days. I just looked that up for 4 people. It's $1,000 a person. So, and that's a 5-day cruise from Miami to the Dominican. You'll hit Puerto Plata. And of course, the excursions, the entertainment, the food, ladies and gentlemen. This one thing about Virgin Voyage, it is not buffet style too much. They really think about the food waste. They're very environmentally conscious. A lot of the things there are recycled. So you're not just having a good time, but you're supporting, honestly, the earth and making sure things are being taken care of and disposed properly. So your money is going to a great brand. But I just wanted to promote that. If you are interested in taking you or a guy's trip or a solo trip or a girl's trip, Virgin Voyage, I suggest you start there. No kids allowed.
And hold on now. You said that's 5 days in the Dominican Republic?
It is a 5-day cruise. So it'll take 5 days. Yes. So you'll hit Dominican Republic, you'll hit Puerto Plata, and of course, it's a round trip from Miami. So if Miami is your steez, you can stay late, you can come early.
And this is all on your page, Melodic Getaways?
Honestly, I have not posted any specific Virgin Voyage packages, but yes, I can help you get that if you would like to. And you can join my Melodic Getaways Facebook page. That's where I post all of my deals. And if you are a traveler, deals are either I'm leaving in a month or I'm booking 2 years out. So if you are interested in any of those deals, go follow us at Melodic Getaways on Facebook.
Yeah, make sure you put that one. I'm going to have Trent look at that one. I might like that one for next month. Or either
Darren is capping because he done wanted to go on 5 different Vacations.
That's the king of capping right there.
No. Hey,
Okay.
baby girl is in New York for 2 months. So now's the time we can travel and we ain't got to do that. So we can take an all adult cruise now.
Yeah,
So
blah blah blah.
Whenever you're ready to fill out the form, sir. Whenever you're ready to send in that information.
Hey, send me that one you just talked about. I like that one.
Okay.
For real. And I just happen to have a little piece of change in my pocket.
Okay.
Let me borrow some.
All right, so no, it's changed. It's changed. All right, it's 7:50.
Okay.
So what I want to do now is where did my drinker go? I gotta watch out. See, Farrah the only one who ain't super sneaky. David got kidnapped people. My drinker, he breaking in folk house. I'm just trying to figure out what y'all really doing. So my drinker, give us some parting words for dads on this Father's Day about what give us some parting words.
First, I want to say, first off, Happy Father's Day. They give us the hottest year of the month. So and then not only that, they're gonna make us barbecue for Father's Day. So, but I want to congratulate all the great fathers out there, man. I want to say thank you to the fathers that's fighting to see their kids. My prayers and condolences are with you in that sense. But for the kings that was on this call with me today, man, it's great to hear some of the stories you guys have had, how you guys are impacting your families. I want to take some of those tidbits away. It's definitely because I like I said, I have a temper. I get a little warm sometimes, and my voice carries. I'll just say that. So I'll work on that part for you because I'm gonna take those away from me. But again, great panel. I'm glad I was a part of this, and look to do more in the future, brother. Appreciate you.
All the time. Hey, and when you gonna invite me over to the pool table, man?
Well, you don't want no smoke. I've been trying to get you to come over there. Hey,
Bro,
what did your producer say? You all caps. You yelling.
Cap.
You yelling.
King cap.
All caps.
Hey, man, I see it's gonna be a couple people I'm gonna have to block for my whole life after the show. It's a couple of people I'm gonna have to block. Hey, man, I'm retired, brother. You working a real job. You gotta let me know when. You know what I'm saying? I'm retired.
All right, so listen, D. They're putting my house back together from this flood that my wife created. When that's over with, all the fellas can come by. I'll have some brewskis. I'll have some stogies if you smoke a stogie. I don't, but I got a few of them I'm trying to get rid of. Y'all, we can shoot some pool, watch some whatever. It ain't no football, it's a baseball season or something. We can shoot some pool, kick it, have a great time, and then it's on.
All right,
and
I got this on tape now.
Ping pong too.
I got this on tape now. We just gonna play some pool. That's all. Don't do that.
It's going.
Farrah, who always doing good things. I want to say this about Farrah. I don't know if he's still doing it because we still recovering from the pandemic. But Farrah, even with his photography, he don't do a lot like he used to back in the day. He does a lot of give back to students and other things. Because that's one of the things I'm gonna probably holler at you about, David, after the show. So Farrah does a lot of things that keep giving back. He's one of my favorites because as a young man, he got it early without a lot of help. And that's one of the things I've always looked up to him for. So, Farrah, give us some parting words, mister.
Well, I would definitely say this. The graduate give back that we do every year will be back for 2024. We are retooling to make sure that it's bigger, better, and greater than it has been in past years. So we will be picking that back up next year and hoping to bless some graduating seniors in the class of 2024. So stay tuned for that. But if I can pivot to kind of one of the topics that's really important to me as a father, to leave with, for parting words for other fathers, I can't speak for every state, but in the state of Georgia, if you are not married and you have children out of wedlock, they need to be legitimated. If you do not go and get legitimated, you do not have rights to your children. Signing the birth certificate is not giving you rights. You have to literally go and file through the Superior Court Clerk's office in the county of which the birth mother resides to be legitimated. So if that's a word of wisdom that I could pass on to young men who have had children out of wedlock like myself, That is a process that you need to research and look into. And if you need lawyers, I got those. If you need advice, I have that. If you need plugs inside of certain county courthouses, I have that as well. If you don't have the money to file for it, I have ways around that. So if I could leave with, you know, any parting advice, it would be to make sure that you are legitimated as a father and that you do absolutely everything that you need to do to be there for your children.
All right, good one, good one. And we're gonna talk more about that because I made a whole post about that. That I'm willing to help anybody for free. If you can't see your kid and she won't let you visit, but you gotta help me. You gotta start that legitimation process. Like I say, I'm gonna talk more about that. I'm gonna do a whole series on how to make that happen because it's as far as this shows. Oh, I'm sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
Oh, I was waiting, bro, but it's all good. You know, first and foremost, happy Father's Day to you young gentlemen out there. You know, all the fellas that are listening, happy Father's Day. Dads are important too. We are very, very important in our children's lives, boys, girls, those that don't know if they're a boy, those that don't know if they're a girl. You know, we're still important in their lives. One of my daughters came to me one day and she's like, Daddy, you know I'm a lesbian, right? I said, good, let's call your mama and tell her, Daddy, stop playing, you play too much. Why you playing, Daddy? I was talking to you. Oh, but you can't tell your mama this. No, but Dad, I was just asking you for your opinion. Baby, it's your life. You're of age. Dad ain't got nothing to say about it. But they value what we say. And that meant a lot to me when she came to me and gave me that one, even though she don't like me. So I ain't gonna tell you which child it is. But you know, the kids in our lives, whether they're your children by birth, your children by marriage, or your children because your kids brought them over, they look up to you. If they continue to hang around, I've had children come over and knock on the door and visit with me. You know, they're all in their mid-20s now, and they come knock on the door. Hey, pops, I just want to come hang out with you for a minute. And I'm like, shit, come on, son, you two over 21. Let's go have a brew and sit out back and talk about it. What's going on with you? And no, that makes me feel good as a man, knowing that I left an influence and an impact on their life, and that they look up to me and they value my opinion. Some over their own parents' opinion, they value my opinion. You know, I'm like, but you still with your parents' house, you gotta do what your parents say in their house, because you don't live in my house, because you don't do what they say, they're gonna put your ass out. You can't come stay over here. I got rid of my kids. I ain't trying to bring another one in. I'm just saying. You can visit, but you can't stay. But you know, and on to the grandbabies. Listen, my daughter called me out big time. She said, "You big old softy. Look at you, big old punk. Them grandbabies. Hey. Leave my grandbabies alone. How about you go to the store and get some, right? Just leave my grandbabies alone. They good. Who that?
This is my youngest.
That's the one that supposedly don't like everybody, but she loved me.
Yeah.
She came to me just like that.
Yeah, but them grandbabies, they something special in my world. You know, my kids call me out quick talking about I done gone soft. I ain't soft, but I raised y'all so I can spoil them. Y'all are raising them, so I ain't got to raise them. I did my job. So I appreciate y'all raising your babies and let me spoil them. But that's all I'm working with, D. It was a pleasure, gentlemen.
Gentlemen, thank you, and happy Father's Day. And this is what I want to say to the men out there who haven't experienced. The greatest thing about Father's Day is just being told Happy Father's Day. The greatest thing about being a father is being able to help mold another life. For the fellas who are on the fence and you keep making excuses about why you can't see your kids, stop. You know, like I say, you go through me, you can go through all. We'll get you. I guarantee you, unless you have abused your kids, I can get you visitation. I can get you visitation. But you got to put forth some effort, and it won't cost you nothing. Let me take that back. Roughly, if you do everything, it might cost you $300 with just the paperwork. And if you ain't got that, for us, say he got some resources, we can get you around that. But we can't keep blaming everybody else for the way kids are being raised, especially our boys, if we're not a part of it. If we keep taking the coward's way out. We find time to play football. We find time to support our teams. We find money to buy the cars we want. But when it comes to your child, all we got time for is to blame her. This is about fathers being fathers. For the day to be special to us, we got to give into it to get something back. You heard all the gentlemen say that they poured into their kids. You heard all the gentlemen say they poured into kids. So there is something to come back. If you don't pour shit in, there is nothing but regret. And one of my co-hosts said something on another show. Presence over presence. PRENCE over PRESENTS. Gifts and money is nice, but these kids need us, our body, in their world. You hear Farrar talking about the concessions he makes to make sure he's at events. You hear David saying that, he's doing things with his kids, teaching them little skills with him. Mondrika is doing things with his kids. We have to be there physically. Financially, don't get it twisted now. We need to do as much as we can financially, but don't let the financial reason cause you to be physically absent. Because as you'll find out, a lot of us miss the physical presence from our fathers, so we still had to learn how to be an active father. So fellas, don't let her take this away and still claim to be somebody special. Step in there and get your rights. As far as grandparents go, and I had a couple of grandparents when I made the post about legitimation, because they found out they didn't have no right to see their kids because their son never legitimated the child. And they keep saying, I signed a birth certificate. And I've said over and over again, sign the birth certificate don't mean shit. It's a cute little photo op moment. That little paperwork that you get from the court is what gives you rights to everything. Everything. So fellas, this is what we got to do. We got to step up and be more present. If she won't let you, it's because you don't want to be. I guarantee you, it's because you don't want to be. Because if you want to be, the courts will let you be. And I'm going to say this. Understand this. I looked it up. Courts have given rights to rapists to see their child because they weren't abusive to the child, just to the mother. So you mean to tell me a rapist can see their child, but you can't see yours? That means you're a pure coward, and I just got nothing for you. We have got to do better, man. We have got to do better. Mondrika, he's going to have an event. Hey, and guess what? We're going to find a way to be there. Use that same energy to see your kids. Use the same energy. Because if not, I can guarantee you're going to end up old with a lot of regret talking about what you could have, should have, would have done. So, again, fellas, I just want to say happy Father's Day to y'all, and I'm glad y'all took the time out to join me. I know I didn't give y'all a whole lot of notice, but y'all three of the dudes I look up to and I look for inspiration from when I'm doing stuff. When I think I'm going to go wrong, because Farad is way bigger than me, so I don't want him to come over here jumping on Trina's side because he's a traitor and turn against me. So, but I appreciate it. And we're gonna do some more, fellas.
Where my girl
so
at, man? If you gonna keep talking about my girl like that, you got to at least show her.
Oh, well, she actually just walked off. She ain't dressed because I would have made her come on camera.
All right,
and
all right.
We might have to plan one of these melodic getaways, with the kids is going. I know Farad time is tough because his girls is at different ages, so he don't get but like 3-4 hours a week of free time. So, but we got to do some adult stuff. And Mel,
I know
I'm
that
coming, so
is.
you can tell everybody I ain't capping. All right. So, gentlemen, again, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for being on Random Thoughts with DVP. Y'all know how it is. It's the end of the show. I'm through drinking, so all I got to say is peace, popcorn, and chicken grease, and we out.
Hold up.
Well, my bad. What's up?
Eggs. I need some eggs,
bro.
Man.
You know why I stay? You know why I stay.
All right, let me come get me some eggs today.
Oh, don't come today. Come tomorrow. Unless you don't want but 6. I ain't got but 6 today.
King Cap.
Adrian, I'm coming for you. I need you to be on the show, Adrian. Who is that in the back, Mondrick? Who is that in the back, Mondrick?
Oh, come wait, man.
Who is that?
That's the oldest.
Okay.
That's the oldest. That's Mila.
That ain't the one who made the cups, is it?
You see, she got my face.
You the one that made the cup? Who made the cups?